Ilene is also known as the Heart Healer. She today is going to be speaking about healing from the heart with Ho'oponopono. And for my heart tears, I want to say thank you for being there for me this past week. You've been awesome, and you've been a joy. And if anyone has an opportunity, have a session with this amazing lady today while she's here until 9 o'clock. So Ilene, the Heart Healer, she shares today is going to be sharing the basics of Ho'oponopono, the ancient Hawaiian process of problem solving, and how to use this process, powerful process, to heal your conscious connection in your heart. She will also facilitate a meditation to facilitate conscious heart connection. I love you, I'm sorry, please forgive me, and thank you. She is in room number 18. She just arrived at 4 o'clock until 9 o'clock tonight. If you would like a complimentary session with her, she's offering a free experiential of conscious heart breath. And then she's also going to be raffling off a 1 hour Akashic record reading aromatherapy assessment valued at $350 to the lucky winner at the end. And a little bit about Ilene. She's a conscious channel, Akashic record reader, medical intuitive, radio show host, speaker, and author. She combines over 50 years in nursing and 25 years in vibrational healing to create a holistic approach to clearing energy blocks and promoting healing. She helps an international clientele of heart-centered individuals and entrepreneurs who struggle with fear, self-sabotaging, negative thoughts, or behaviors and self-worth issues to experience inner peace, self-confidence, empowerment, and clarity of their soul's purpose. She is certified in healing touch, medical intuitive, and a quantum practitioner, Ho'oponopono practitioner. So also she's enjoyed the benefits of working with as an experienced facilitator of healing over thousands of clients, which can be just like you today. And if you're ready to clear the root cause of virtually any issues from childhood trauma, PSD, now is your time to say, I love you, thank you, forgive me. And I'm sorry. I knew I had one more to go here. I'm trying to get it down in my head. So thank you, Ilene. You got the floor for the next 25 minutes.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Sheri. And thank you so much for everyone who's being here today and sharing this collective energy. I think it is absolute perfection in the timing of the side chicks and their conversation and whatever that brings up for everyone, and how we move from that information to one of a solution to whatever the fear is that all of that brings up for all of us, whether it's the conversation of the many topics that the beautiful side chicks offer wisdom about, or life day to day in general, right? So my time today with you, I want to focus on conscious heart connection because that is my soul's purpose for being here. It is to remind everyone that we're here to remember how to be a loving presence in our relationship with ourselves first, in our relationship with our source as we believe it to be by whatever name we know it as, in our relationship with others, and our life experiences. Everything about our experiences in this human journey are an inside job. Everything is mirroring out from who we are being in our relationship with ourselves. There are many different philosophies that are going to bring you outside of yourself to try and figure out what is the cause of your problem. What is the cause of your issue, whether it's physically, emotionally, mentally, or spiritually? I'm here to invite you to consider another way of looking at it that is very simple and all about coming home to your heart with who you are. Because when we focus only on who we are being in our relationship with ourselves first, everything shifts outside of us. So I'm going to tell you a quick story about, God, it's almost 3 years ago now. It was Christmas week and I could not stand up straight. My back was out. I'm 50 years in nursing, and for the years that I was in clinical nursing, we didn't use such great body mechanics, right? And so the shortened version of the story is that I just could not stand up straight, had a little bit of vertigo, couldn't get in to see my acupuncture person, couldn't shift it with my own toolbox. And I was struggling, really struggling. So it's the Friday after Christmas, and it's coming now close to the holiday weekend for New Year's. And I hadn't been on the internet, and I'm going to check into Facebook because this is where I connect with my people, my tribe, those that I serve. And Joe Vitale's face is there. Ho'oponopono certification. And I'm going, seriously? 95% off? Click. Well, the sum total of the coursework is 2 full weekends of working with Dr. E. Haleakala and more. So I immediately knew intuitively, as we all know intuitively when we need something. And when we listen to that intuitive knowing, when we listen to our heart, and we need to foster that ability to listen, right? The choices that we make always move us forward in alignment with our soul's purpose for being here. They always move us forward in a way that feels life affirming to us, that feels right to us. So I started listening to the videos. First one, I'm going, I know what this is. For sure, I know what this is. I've been doing quantum healing for years now. It's going for the quantum signature. And then I listened to the second video, and I'm not taking notes anymore. I am just absorbing and listening and loving every moment of hearing this wisdom. Ilene is very dry, but such an amazing teacher, right? And I realized all of a sudden, I know exactly what needs to be done. And I'm saying thank you, and I turn it off, and I put my hands on my hips or my back, and I sit there and I go to whatever memories are in me that is the cause of my back pain on any and all levels that I am to atone for. I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. And I said, I love you. 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 I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. Over and over and over again. And the tears are flowing because when I experience my own healing, as many of us do, I emote. The emotions that are connected to whatever it is come out of me in tears and feeling the emotion of it. And I'm totally okay with it because to me, better out than in, right? Within an hour, that back pain was gone and it has never returned. The vertigo took a couple more days. And I said, because I had been doing Ho'oponopono when it would come up in the course of a healing session, but I never studied it before then. And this fed my left brain intelligence need to understand. And as a result, it has opened up a door for a totally different way of approaching healing, supporting other people in their healing journey. Because we don't heal, us facilitators, we don't heal. We facilitate the healing because the healing is not ours. The healing is the person that we are serving. It's their process, their journey. We just need to get everybody out of the way, right? So that the magic, or what feels like magic, can unfold. So one of the things that I have always had a problem with is PTSD from childhood. And so it got triggered the year that this all happened when Ho'oponopono, the studying of it, came to me. And it was very hard being in this body, as I know so many of you are experiencing. Because the person that is the perpetrator of the cause for my PTSD from childhood is still in a body. And this is a person that I have a relationship with. It was so challenging. So I started doing the Ho'oponopono. And the language was to whatever memories are in me, because remember, there's nothing outside of me. If there's anything that's putting a trigger in me, it's because it's coming from within me. I don't look outside anymore. So I say to whatever memories are in me that are the cause of this person's suffering on any and all levels that I am to atone for, to clear it from me, so that as I initiate this clearing from me, God, divine creator, clears that pattern from me, from the person that I am saying it on the behalf of, and from anyone else on this planet that holds the same energy. And it keeps going back through time, space, dimensions, realities, generations, back to the beginning of creation. Within 2 weeks, saying this every day, my heart started feeling more peace than I had felt in a long time. In 4 months, this person was able to express love, gratitude for her family in a way that we'd never experienced before. So I want to say to you, this works. It works in the most powerful of ways, no matter what the issue is. Physical, emotional, mental, spiritual, energetic, it's all the same. What you focus on is what will expand and grow. Focus on the problem, doing all that you can do to figure it out, put a name to it, put a label on it, figure out what the underlying cause is. You're focusing on the problem. If you give up the need to know or even understand, and you give this process a chance, what my hope is that you will find that your experience will be similar to mine. And that in whatever period of time serves your highest good, like it did mine, you will notice a change, a shift in your experience of what that problem or issue was. Now, how do you do it? Why? And why is it simple but not easy? So I'm going to just do the basics real quickly. Ho'oponopono is an ancient Hawaiian process of problem solving. Simply put, I know that our hostess, Alexandria, put some definitions in the chat. Thank you for doing that, for those that resonate with that language. And so what I want to say to you is, everything begins in the mind. And the memories that I mentioned, to whatever memories are in me, whatever we identify as a problem, Ho'oponopono says that it is memories replaying from our subconscious mind. In the beginning, and this process is tens of thousands of years old, more ancient than the ancient Hawaiians, which is a civilization of 2,500 some odd years old. And back in the ancient Hawaiian time, this was a facilitated process by either the head of a household or the kahuna for the community. And in those days, everyone lived in the same community within walking distance of each other. Families shared same living space. So if there was a problem, because this culture valued peace above all, then peace needed to be restored as quickly as possible. And so it went from a process where everyone that was involved with the problem needed to be present. Everyone who was present needed to acknowledge that they loved everyone, that I'm sorry for whatever I did to contribute to whatever this unrest is, this problem. Please forgive me for whatever I did that contributed to this problem, and accept or express gratitude to everyone for being a part of the community. And so that worked for thousands of years. And then in the 1970s, a beautiful kahuna who is known as a treasure to the Hawaiian people, Morna Simeona, who is no longer in a body, she transitioned to spirit, I think it was in 92. She channeled the current form of Ho'oponopono, which is known as self-identity through Ho'oponopono, where it is solely an internal process. It's me with me, you with you. There is no one outside of us. It's very empowering to know that we have a tool that can be just ours because there is nothing outside of us. But there's also the sense of, but I don't want it to be all in me. I want somebody else to fix me. And sometimes we feel that way. Ho'oponopono is not that tool. It's a tool that says, when I say I love you, I'm sorry, please forgive me, I'm making a statement to Divine Creator God that I'm responsible for whatever my problem is. Physically, emotionally, mentally, spiritually, doesn't matter. Not because I feel judgment or criticism of myself, just because it's how it works. And then I say thank you to God, Divine Creator God, by whatever name you call that part of you that is your source, for clearing it all. Because I can't possibly know, nor can any of us, where all of it exists that represents the cause of the problem. And so, conscious heart connection, Ho'oponopono, healing our hearts, helps us to be in a different relationship with ourselves. It helps us to be a loving presence with ourselves. The more we're connected to our hearts, with us, consciously, the more inspired thoughts we receive, the more inspired creativity, the direction that's like Divine Creator has put a beam of light in front of us and said, my loving child, step here. This is your next step. This is your path forward. If we can get out of our way and simply keep, without engaging in what these problems are, keep putting into motion the clearing of them, then what we get to understand and experience is that it's as simple as that. And life can shift. And we can be in our hearts, feeling joyful, at peace, that feeling of self-confidence, a new feeling of self-worth, because so many of us have this issue. We may not be in it 24/7, but it shows its ugly head from time to time. And then, or any other problem, and then we sit there and we go, didn't I work on that 5 years ago? Why is it showing up again? Not because it negates any of the work that you've done. All the work that you've done with whomever and in whatever way you have done it has been good. Having another issue or the same issue in a different way doesn't negate that. It simply says to you, there's more of that you're ready to release. Because keep in mind, if you believe that this is not the first time you're here in a body, imagine the multitude of experiences that are part of this energy matrix that is us, that is not just here. It includes all the energy from every existence we've ever had, whatever that means to you. And if you only believe that you live one lifetime, then it's whatever your ancestors, the energy of your ancestors' experiences that are in your DNA. How do we pass diseases from one generation to the next? How do we pass addictions? How do we pass behaviors like abuse of any kind, addiction of any kind? We do it through the energy of our ancestors that came before us. That's why they're generational issues. As some of our speakers have already shared today, I want to reiterate, we're in a very special time. We may all language it a little bit differently, but the reason why there are so many of us presenting and so many teachers and facilitators out there are because we each language it in a way that creates a vibration that attracts the people that are for us. Not everybody is for me. But my heart surrounds everyone, no matter, because that's why I'm here. And if we can hold that space of loving ourselves, what I want you to know is that the love that we express within ourselves, not in a narcissistic way, this is not a pathology. This is a soul purpose, right? It's about being a kind, loving person with ourselves. Setting healthy boundaries with other people, trusting and knowing what we know to be our truth, and following that intuitive knowing and inner guidance, right? The more we hold that space, the more, my friends, the easier life is. The more peace we feel, the more we're serving the collective of humanity. It's as simple as that. And so, I know that I was supposed to do a meditation tonight, and I think that because we are a little bit behind, I'm going to pop back when we have a little time between 7 and 9, and I'll do the meditation so that we can be a bit more on time, if that would be okay with everyone. But I will raffle off I know Sheri has stepped away. I will raffle off my ticket. Before I do that, if anyone has any quick questions, go ahead and put them in the chat about anything that I've spoken about. Please feel free to do that. Hey, Sheri, I'm going to do my meditation maybe a little bit later when we have some time, if that would work. That way we'll go back on schedule. Would that work for you? You have to unmute, honey. You've muted to benefit me.
Okay. Yeah, we have plenty of time after 7 o'clock.
And I'll be here so we can do it again. Sheri will note it in the chat at whatever time it will be. So let me just see if anyone has a question about anything that I've talked about. I do. Someone asked, do I silently do the Ho'oponopono? Yes, I do. I can do it silently. I do it out loud. You don't have to mean it. You can say, I love you, I'm sorry, please forgive me, thank you. You can say it all day long. There's always something to clear, right? You can say it every hour if you want to work on something specific. That to me is a proactive approach where I'm thinking what I want to address and I address it very consciously. You can journal it. In the mornings, sometimes I'll journal all of my Ho'oponopono clearing statements and then my intention statements. The balance of intending the clearing and then also doing the intention for what I want to bring in. Does that make sense to you? Yes? I soon to be my ex-husband doesn't or doesn't need to know. No. If it is about, so the question is, if a person does it silently and it has to do with someone that they live with, like a former husband, or no. You're not clearing it from them. You don't have to ask them permission. You are clearing whatever the problem is from you. This is the important part that people don't always understand. We never clear from someone else. So if I'm clearing on behalf of the person who was the cause of my PTSD to whatever memories are in me that are the cause for their suffering on any and all levels that I am to atone for. I love you, I'm sorry, please forgive me, thank you, or just I love you, or just thank you repeatedly, right? I need to look more at this. You're very welcome. You're very welcome. Oh, you're welcome. Sheila, that was my joy. Did that make sense to the person that asked the question about doing it silently? I hope. It's really, the more simple we make it, yes, you're very welcome. The more simple that we make it, the easier. Trust me on this. If you start making it complicated, you're engaging in the problem, you're missing the point. If it doesn't feel good while you're doing it, then think about it. Be in touch with me. Let me assist you. Pop into my room tonight. We'll work on some questions. Do a 15-minute session. I'm happy to help you language your Ho'oponopono clearing statements, or pop in for a free visit and we'll do some heart breath so that you can experience that and then do it on your own to deepen that connection to your heart and to you. All right. All right, very good. Thank you, everyone. So, Sheila, I'm going to do my raffle if that's okay. Yeah. So it's a number between 1 and 100 for an hour Akashic Records reading and aromatherapy assessment. It'll really be more than an hour. The reading will be an hour. So put your numbers in the chat, please, from 0 to 100. And I'm just going to watch to see if someone gets it. Not yet. Keep going. Put your number in the chat room.
Got a lot of people here. If you want to win a session and $350 value, everybody.
We have one winner, so keep on going. I will do two. If there's another person that gets it on the nose, I will do two of them. I give you another minute or so, or maybe 30 seconds.
Just put in the chat, just closest number from 0 to 100. Anybody who just arrived, all you have to, you win the, we give away the prize to the closest number.
Does everyone feel complete that chooses to participate?
Anybody else?
There are a bunch of people that were very close, but there's only one person that actually got the number. So this is my number. It was 33, so Miss Charcette. Yes, and you felt that number in your heart very well. It is my joy to be of service to you. So what I would invite you to do, send me your email privately, and I'll send you a gift certificate in the mail, and then we'll schedule your private session. And for all of you that are here now, please come back a little later, and I'll be happy to do a meditation. It's my joy to have spent this time with you. Remember, I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. Say it as often as you think of it. Know that you are in my heart and surrounded. I am Ilene Gottlieb, the Heart Healer. I'm in room 18. Come visit. Blessings. Thank you, Sheri.
Thank you. That was great.